introduction to the most advanced lineup optimizer in daily fantasy sports. One of the most common questions we get is why should I pay for your optimizer versus the other tools? To put it simply, no other tool can help you like our optimizer can. Our optimizer has every feature you would ever dream of needing. Our optimizer gives you the ability to save and generate unlimited number of lineups. You can generate 100 at a time for FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo. You can create lineups with multiple stacks and generate as many stacks from different teams as desired. We have the most sophisticated stack creation in daily fantasy sports. You can download all your lineups, you can save all your lineups, and come back to them at a later date. This optimizer will save you hours of time and give you the data you need to build the best lineups possible. Starting with the Players tab where you will spend most of your time, the top line of options includes selecting a site, selecting your slate, which all players and games are specific to the slate selected. You can save your optimizer settings. So if you found some lineups you like, you found some settings that work for you, you just click this plus button, save these settings, you can name them, and then you can either override them by saving again, or save additional setting profiles, or delete. You can save as many of these as possible, and you can reference them across any device at any point throughout the week. You can show or hide your advanced options. There's a help icon that you can reference at any time to help you with some of the more common issues. The projection line in advanced options shows you the projections that populate globally throughout the tool. They come included DFC cash, DFC GPP, last 3 game average, last 7 game average, and as the season goes along, there will be a season average. If you upload your own projections, you can name the projections. You can download our player file. Once you do, you simply open it up and add in your projections into the E column. You save the CSV and upload again. Once you do, your projections will display in their own column on the projections tab, GPP 95, as you can see here. These are custom projections I've uploaded. And then you can select those projections to display globally throughout the tool. You can upload as many custom projections as you like. You can also manually adjust projections down below. And once you do, if you increase a projection, you'll see the green plus above with the difference. And if you decrease a projection and you hover, you'll see the decrease. There are a number of advanced filters for the table below. You can see them here. Team total, you can filter by salary, projection, points per 1K, floor, ceiling, consistency, and you can even turn our color badges on and off if you don't like colors. We have 3 tiers of color badges. We have green, yellow, and red, and various colors within those 3 tiers. We have 3 tiers within each color for most columns, and 2 within the type column, which tells you whether it's a strong GPP play or a strong cash play. You can create one or multiple lineups that include stacks. You can create stacks from multiple teams, or you can tell the optimizer to select any team. You can select the number of stacks you want in your lineups, as long as the players are within those stacks. You can delete stacks by clicking the trash icon. There's also some advanced options here, where you can designate the optimizer to not include a defense versus your offensive players. You can tell the optimizer whether you would like a quarterback running back combination in your lineups. You can set the maximum players per team. You can set the lock position on DraftKings. You can also turn exposure on and off. Now, when you turn exposure on, down below in the table, you'll see the exposure column become editable. So now you can go in there and edit an exposure column. And you can say, for example, I only want this player, in this case, Matt Castle, who you won't be playing. So let's go to someone with a bit of a more likelihood of playing. So Aaron Rodgers, if I set him at 50% and I have 10 lineups, Aaron Rodgers will only display in 50% or less of the lineups. You're giving the optimizer the ability to choose. Now, if you locked Aaron Rodgers, the exposure would turn to 0. And if you updated this to 50%, you would be locking Aaron Rodgers into 50% of your lineups. So when you click Generate Optimal Lineups, you're going to see Aaron Rodgers in 50% of your lineups. If we scroll down, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of your lineups, and you can see the lock symbol. You can lock and exclude players right next to the player name, and this heart button sends the player up to the bulk update. On the bulk update section, you can lock all these players at once. Any player that's in here, you can exclude all these players at once. I'm just going to send a few players up there. You can also adjust projection on the players in the bulk update all at once, and you can also set exposure at once. So it's a way to save time. And then if you need to delete players, you can simply click the X or just start deleting. You can also search for players in the bulk update or scroll to find the players you like. Each column is sortable, and you can edit projection as I've shown you, as well as exposure. We have a few different sections: games, opponent data, and player performance. You can toggle between positions here, and if there are more than 25 players at a position, you'll see the paginated values here. You can search for a player name or a team abbreviation. So I want to define all Atlanta tight ends. You can also reset all your options. You can reset individual options if you like as well. Up above, you'll see the projections tab. We've gone through that a bit, but you can see the projections in each column. You can see the games tab, where you can actually look at game data and select stacks from the games tab. So if you wanted to create a stack on Denver Broncos, you just click that stack tab and you can create that stack there. You can do this multiple ways, and these stacks will also show up for you in the players column under the stacks section. This is a really nice feature, saves you a ton of time. You're able to look at all the teams at once, find the right teams you like, and either bulk update or stack. Players we went over, your excludes will show up here. Now you'll see by default, all players with a doubtful or out status in the injury tab will be excluded when you load the tool. So if I were to reset all my settings, you would see there would still be some excludes because by default, they're excluding those players. You can turn that off by clicking these check boxes, or you could exclude people based on their questionable status. Locks will appear in this column. You'll see the total number of players locked and their total salary for reference. You can see all players locked here. From every tab, you can generate lineups. And once you do generate lineups, you'll see the total number of lineups generated. Here we go. You'll see the name of the lineups generated. You can double click and rename this. You can also delete previous tabs, and you'll see the slate name underneath each tab. On the generated lineups tab, you'll see the name over here, which you can also edit by double clicking. You'll see the total points. You'll see the percentage optimized. You'll see preview projections for all the projection sources that you have there. You'll see a save icon where you can save the lineups, and they will all be displayed in your save lineup section. You can also download an individual lineup. You can save all lineups as well, and you can download all from the generated lineups tab. Now you can also swap within a lineup. So let's say you don't like a player, you can click the swap icon and find a player you do like at that position and click on their name and immediately swap a player. The projections will be updated automatically. Exposure will go to 0 because it doesn't calculate exposure based on all lineups, but it is one of the quickest way to update your lineups. And then secondly, you can also click on the players used button, which shows you all the players used in your lineups. It'll show you the different stacks used in your lineups. You can add stacks, you can edit players, and you can generate lineups again. We built this tab to enable you to manipulate all the data you need on this page without going back. You can lock, exclude, you can do everything you need. So we hope we've convinced you this optimizer is all business and a ton of fun. It'll save you hours of time and help you win more by helping you build better lineups. It's worth the cost in the time savings alone. Don't play without it and start winning more with RotoBaller.